Your bold attitude was like a fire that never went out, always keeping things exciting and full of life. I miss that energy, that spark you brought to every situation. Without you, everything feels a little too calm, a little too predictable. You had this way of turning even the smallest moments into something unforgettable with your boldness. I miss the excitement you brought, the way you made life feel so much more intense and thrilling. I miss the way your bold attitude made everything feel more adventurous. With you, there was never a dull moment. You brought excitement, unpredictability, and now that you're not here, I realize how much I took that for granted. Your boldness was like a breath of fresh air, shaking up everything around you. I miss the way you could turn an ordinary day into something unforgettable. Things just aren't the same without your fearless energy. You were never afraid to be bold, to push boundaries, and make life exciting. I miss that daring spirit, the way you spiced up every moment with your unique energy. Life feels a little too flat without you. I miss the thrill of being around you. Your bold attitude always kept me on my toes, never knowing what was coming next. You brought a certain kind of unpredictability that made everything feel more alive. You always had a way of making things more exciting, of turning the mundane into something extraordinary. I miss your boldness, the way you never settled for ordinary and always spiced things up. Your boldness was like a magnet, pulling me into your world of excitement and unpredictability. Now that you're gone, I miss the way you made everything feel thrilling and alive. You knew how to make life feel like an adventure. Your bold attitude was contagious, and I miss the way you'd spice things up, making everything around us feel more exciting, more alive. You never did things halfway, and I loved that about you. Your boldness brought a certain magic to life, and now that you're not around, everything feels a little too normal, a little too predictable. You brought a boldness that was unmatched, always making everything feel intense and exciting. I miss that energy, that thrill of not knowing what was going to happen next with you around. You knew how to bring excitement to even the quietest moments. I miss the way your bold attitude could turn a simple conversation into something unforgettable. Life feels too calm without you stirring things up. Your boldness was the spice of life, and now that you're not here, I realize how much I relied on that excitement. Things just don't feel as vibrant without your fearless energy. You never shied away from being bold, from taking risks, and I miss that about you. Your daring attitude made everything feel more alive, and without it, things feel a little too predictable. You had a way of making the impossible seem possible with your boldness. I miss that feeling of excitement, that thrill you brought to every moment. Life feels a little too safe without you. Your boldness made life feel like an adventure, always keeping me on the edge of my seat. I miss that intensity, that unpredictability that only you could bring. Without you, everything feels a little too steady. You always made things exciting, always brought a thrill to every situation with your bold attitude. I miss that spark, that energy you brought that made even the quiet moments feel electric. You were never afraid to push the boundaries, to shake things up and make life exciting. I miss your boldness, the way you turned even the simplest moments into something unforgettable. Your bold attitude was like a whirlwind, sweeping me up into a world of excitement and unpredictability. I miss the thrill of being around you, the way you kept everything so alive and intense. You had this fearless energy that was impossible to ignore. I miss the way you made everything feel more exciting, more adventurous. Without your boldness, life feels a little too still. You knew how to take charge, to make every moment feel like an adventure with your bold attitude. I miss that thrill, that excitement you brought to everything we did. Your boldness was the spark that ignited everything around you. I miss the way you'd take control, making even the quietest moments feel intense and full of life. You always had a way of making things more interesting, more exciting with your boldness. I miss that energy, the way you'd turn every situation into something unforgettable. You were never one to play it safe, and that's what I loved about you. I miss your bold attitude, the way you'd take risks and make life feel so much more exciting. You knew how to bring life to everything around you with your boldness. I miss that fearless energy, the way you'd make even the simplest moments feel thrilling and unpredictable. I've been thinking about the way you light up the room with your confidence. Your bold attitude is something I can't stop missing. Every time I see you, it's like the energy shifts, and everything becomes more exciting and unpredictable. You know how to spice things up without even trying. You bring this fierce energy that makes everything feel so intense, so alive. I miss the way you'd challenge me with that bold attitude of yours, making me see things from a different angle, pushing boundaries. Life feels a little dull without that spark you add. I never realized how much your boldness changed everything around us. Without you, it feels like everything's gone back to black and white. You bring so much color, so much spice to the mundane, and I miss that excitement. You've always had this magnetic energy about you. It's not just your boldness, but the way you make everything seem so much more interesting, so much more thrilling. I miss that feeling of always being on the edge of something unexpected with you. Your bold attitude made every moment feel like an adventure. There was never a dull moment when you were around, and now that you're not here, I feel like something essential is missing. You brought life to the quietest corners of my world. I miss the way you'd take charge of any situation, fearlessly owning the room. There was something so intoxicating about your boldness, and without it, everything feels a little too quiet, a little too predictable. You spiced things up in a way no one else could. You never played it safe, and I loved that about you. You kept me on my toes, always surprising me with your fearless decisions. Now, without you, I'm realizing how much I miss that thrill. Things just aren't the same without your bold spirit. Your confidence and boldness were like a breath of fresh air in a world that often feels so stagnant. You made every moment exciting, every conversation unpredictable. I miss the way you'd shake things up and make even the simplest moments feel extraordinary. You've always had this way of turning the ordinary into something extraordinary. Your bold attitude brought so much energy, so much excitement, and now that you're gone, I feel like I'm missing that spark that made everything come alive. I miss the way your bold attitude would electrify every situation. You made life feel exciting, like anything could happen at any moment. Without you, it feels like everything is too safe, too predictable. You always knew how to make things interesting, how to turn a simple moment into something unforgettable. I miss your boldness, your ability to make everything around you come to life. It feels like everything's lost its edge without you. Life feels a little too quiet without your bold energy. I miss the way you'd confidently stir things up, keeping everything exciting and fresh. You always knew how to keep things interesting, and I miss that more than I can put into words. You brought an intensity that made everything around you feel more alive. I miss your boldness, the way you'd take control and make everything so much more exciting. Without you, everything just feels a little too ordinary. You were never afraid to be bold, to take risks, to challenge the norm. I miss the way you'd shake things up, the way you'd add excitement to every situation. Life feels a little too calm without you stirring the pot. You always had a way of turning the simplest things into an adventure. Your bold attitude made everything feel thrilling, and without you, I miss that sense of excitement, that feeling of always being on the edge of something new. There's a void now where your bold energy used to be. You made things unpredictable in the best way, spicing up life with your fearless attitude. I miss that thrill, that excitement that only you could bring. Your boldness was infectious. You made me feel more alive, more daring. And now that you're not here, I miss that energy. Things just feel a little too quiet, too still without you around to shake things up. You always had this way of making even the most mundane moments feel exciting. I miss your boldness, your fearless attitude that kept everything so alive and unpredictable. Life feels a little dull without that energy you brought. You never settled for ordinary, and that's what I loved about you. Your bold attitude made everything feel intense, exciting. And now that you're not around, I miss that spark that only you could ignite. You made every moment feel like an adventure with your bold spirit. I miss that fearless energy, the way you take risks and make everything so much more exciting. Things feel a little too safe without you here. You brought a boldness that was unmatched, and now that you're not here, I feel like I'm missing something crucial. You spice things up in a way that no one else could, and life feels a little too predictable without that edge.